Hey, this is our new project. It's Steve and Stevie. This is a Massey Ferguson 240. Had to look at it. We've been pressure washing. Should have started earlier on this, but this is a good little tractor. It's got the Perkins 152, they call it 3D 152 diesel. Great motor. Perkins, Massey Ferguson built their reputation on this motor as far as I'm concerned. So I picked this tractor up from a buddy of mine's hunting lease for $1,000. They said it's got blow-by and that they've been ethering the motor to start it because they probably didn't know how to work the pre-ignition or pre-combustion preheater, on it, which is kind of a weird system on these. Or maybe it didn't work, but they've been ethering it to get it started in cold weather, and they may have wiped the motor, I don't know. So I just pressure wash it. I got to hit a couple more spots, and then we're going to pull the hood and see what we got, and I bought it knowing that the motor probably had to be built. So it comes with a Massey Ferguson 232 loader bucket. It's in good shape for the most part. It's got a couple of stress cracks, so they've been beating on it a little bit. The cutting edge is a little warped from them probably prying up on stumps or something with it. But, and I'm going to paint all the red. It's been living partially outside underneath the lean-to, so over the years you can see what it's done to the paint. But this is like the nicest tractor I've had opportunity to pick up, so I'm going to try to make it nice. We'll see, but we got to get the motor running and go from there. So give it a good service. Hopefully, hey, maybe we'll get lucky and it's got a bad injector or who knows what. So let's get after it. All right, so we didn't video it because I didn't think we'd get anywhere, but we spun it over. It's got quite a bit of blow-by at the airbox tubes on the other side, and it's got quite a lot of blow-by by just cranking it over, so that doesn't make me feel warm and fuzzy. But your hand gets sucked back in, and my buddy told me that your hand gets sucked in on the exhaust. So that tells me, I'm not 100% sure, that maybe the one of the rocker arms is off. Who knows? We're gonna pull the tank, pull the valve cover, make sure rocker arms are still on there or something's not broke or bent. It sounds right spinning over, but that doesn't mean the motor's not hurt. So we don't know. Hey, we can get lucky. A girl can dream. So we're gonna try to get the tank off and see what we got. So we'll show you then. Okay, we got this thing pulled in the shop, and this Massey Ferguson 240. It's pulled valve cover off. I was hoping to have a stuck valve or a dropped valve, but we don't. And we've got the coolant draining. We're going to pull the head. So it's got a lot of blow-by, and it sucks your hand in on the exhaust pipe. So I think we got a cracked piston. Let's show you. Yeah, a lot of blow-by and sucking your hand in on the exhaust. So we are fixing to pop the head and see what's up. All right, so we got the head off of it and started looking at it. I was expecting to find a hole in the piston, and they're perfect. So I started looking at it, and Stevie spotted some discoloration. If you look right here, I'll get this light on it. There is a little bit of blowing by right there. And then we looked on the head over here and found the same thing on the head. The head looks good. I have not checked the valves whether they're leaking or not. Then we started seeing some marking inside the liners here, but you still see a lot of cross hatching. They're pretty perfect, other than there's a little bit of scoring in here. You can't just barely feel it. And my man Stevie noticed that the liners are cracked here. This one not, but this one is also cracked right here. I don't know if you can see it or not. So this motor, these motors have a preheater in the intake manifold that squirts a little fuel and burns it in the intake manifold and preheats the intake charge a little bit. Well, I don't know whether they didn't know how to work it or if the system wasn't working, and they've been ethering this motor. This thing's got 1,100 hours on it, and it's wiped out. And the motors would have been cherry had they not been squirting ether to it. But that's the way it goes, and you know what? You do what you got to do sometimes. So probably got away with it 1,000,000 times, but 1,000,001 wiped the motor. So unfortunately, this motor is going to have new liners put in it. I don't expect. Let's pull the valve. The head gasket, and see if we can see anything in the block cracked, because that would suck. So yeah, this thing been getting some coolant around here. That's coolant staining, I believe. So it's been probably losing a little coolant. I haven't pulled the drain plug to see if it's been getting down into the oil. It's not milky, but it's been sitting for a long time. So it looks like it's just a liner, but I don't have as good eyes as I used to. Let me go get my magnifying glass and I'll eyeball it. Okay, the block looks good there, but the liner is junk. Yeah, there is a crack right there.
Where, in the block?
In the liner. Sorry, didn't mean to say that.
I'm like, what?
I mean, you know, the liner took the shot.
I suppose that's good.
Yeah, I suppose. It's aggravating.
Open up, it's just the head gasket.
Can't see. There we go. Yeah, the block looks good. So, but regardless, it's going to be built. I did one of these years ago, and you know, I didn't have the tools. I put the liners in way, I'm not even going to tell you how I did it, but I put the liners in way wrong. But so this thing's had blow by, and I just assumed that it's pushing compression, you know, into the oil drain, which is over here by the lifters. So, and then right here you can see discoloration right here, some dark discoloration. Now it's passing some exhaust gases in between the cylinders on number 1 and 2. So anyhow, we're going to stop right here because I have been spending way too much money and the Fuhrer is on me. So I've got other things I got to finish first. I was kind of hoping for a Hail Mary on this motor, but wasn't meant to be. And I bought this tractor, you know, knowing that the motor probably had to be built. So I'm not dissatisfied. And I also like to have these things done right so that I know that I can not have to worry about this. I'll put a clutch in it, a rear and a front seal in it, have the crank checked, and we'll do it right. And hopefully I can put the liners in myself, which shouldn't be an issue. And that's that. So at this point, we're gonna stop on this one and put it on the back burner because I've got 2 other tractors apart that I've got to finish. So.
And Broncos.
So there it is. So hope this helps, and we'll get back to it when we're ready to start tearing the motor out and building it. So.